As many of you who have attended Corum conferences know, in tech M&A, structure is more important than price. To make this point in our live conferences, we pick 3 people and tell them that they each just sold their company for $100 million. Generally, they all smile. Then I explain one by one that they get 3 different offers though. One gets all earn out, another got unregistered stock, the third got $100 million in cash. Which offer would you take? The audience immediately says the cash offer, right? So they quickly understand the structure is more important than price. Here are 2 offers for the same company. The first offer, from what our client thought would be the logical strategic buyer, came in highly structured, as we call it, meaning that there were a number of non-cash components. The second offer came from a private equity firm we know well, one that our client had never heard of. The valuation of the firm was about $12 million. So the seller was happy with the results of the global search process that we took him through. He'd had some overtures from buyers we know are bottom feeders, less than $10 million. They've been trying to lock him up in exclusive negotiations. Buy him cheap. There were other offers, but these were the 2 best. On the first offer, as you can see, the price is not bad. $20 million, but most of the payment is in the future. There's $5 million down, with 2 additional payments of $5 million each at the end of year 1 and year 2. The $5 million is a guaranteed debt note. The second $5 million payment is not a guaranteed note, but has a basic contingency of the company meeting some liquidity requirements goals, meaning that the business does not dramatically drop off. There is an additional upside over 4 years of a $5 million bonus based upon agreed upon high goals, tied to an extended employment agreement of 4 years, and 5-year non-compete. There are no provisions for employees. The second offer is only $15 million, but it's all cash, with a 10% 1-year escrow for contingencies, meaning that the owners pocket $13.5 million at closing, the rest of the other $1.5 million within a year if the escrow contingencies are met. The employment agreement is 2 years, with a non-compete agreement of 3 years, and a large severance bonus for any employees let go. So which offer would you take? There was a time not long ago when you would have looked carefully at the higher offer, believing that the liquidity and earnouts were very doable. But it's unclear how much more you would get. Worst case, you might only receive $10 million for your company. Thus, most people would tend toward the sure thing, the $15 million. It's a much better structure. With a much shorter period of time, you would have to stay with the company, and nice provisions for the employees. Remember, there's been a lot of work to get to this point with these 2 bids. The lesser bidders have dropped out. It's decision time. At this point, a logical counteroffer to buyer number 1 is to have them make the $20 million offer into all cash. With a shorter employment agreement and some protection for employees, the language would be something like, "We always thought you would be the best partner, but your offer is not competitive. We will do the deal if you can do this." The auction process, bringing in multiple bidders, allows you to confidently counter. This is what creates the higher value. The components of deal structure haven't changed much over the years. Essentially, as this pyramid shows, you can expect to get more from the buyer if you're willing to share the risk. Do earnout. In other words, a buyer can afford to pay you the greatest price if the transaction is all earnout, essentially payment in the future based upon performance, meeting some agreed upon goals. If you want all cash, then the price will naturally be lower as you are not sharing any of the risk of future performance. Let's take a look at how structure can evolve, value increasing with competitive bids. This one was an international company initially valued at just under $3 million. There are 3 buyers. The first bidder was a strategic tech company. The second bidder was a major PE firm in North America pushing for a bolt-on deal. The third bidder was a smaller PE firm that wanted to make this platform play and build around it, so they're willing to pay more. Eventually, this third firm would become the top bidder. Here's what happened. During the first round of offers, the strategic bidder offered $12 million in cash up front. The larger PE offered the same, $12 million, but instead in half cash, half earnout. The third bidder, the smaller PE, made an initial offer in the low teens. We went back and pushed for more. In the second round, the first buyer, the strategic, dropped out. We got the second bidder up to $28 million, half cash, half earnout with a stock consideration. The third bidder, the smaller PE, provided a written offer for just above that, $28 million plus, cash, rollover, and earnout. When we went back again, the third bidder, the smaller PE, came back at $52 million with cash, rollover equity, earnout, and a seller's note as part of the structure. The second bidder, the larger PE, couldn't match it, so our client signed the LOI with the third bidder. More than ever, if you want this kind of outcome, you need to go through a global partner search process to create buyer tension, sort out the real bidders, and create that auction environment that will get you an optimal outcome. Look, you didn't leave the building of your company to chance. It took focus and hard work. The same applies to selling your company. After all, it's the most important transaction of your life. You take control of the process so that you have multiple options and you're not at the mercy of only one bidder. Finally, don't miss the window. The buyers want healthy companies, good technology, and they have trillions burning a hole in their pocket. If you're willing to work with the buyers to share the risk with the structure, you'll get more offers.